We were asked to do an update on our gourami. Those of you who don't know, gourami means army. It's not so much an army, but a platoon. So we have them in 2 tanks. We have 5 of 7 extant species of gar. We're lacking alligator gar because the Florida state would not let us have one, or anybody. And we're lacking a short-nosed gar. Everybody else we have. Okay, in this tank, 4,500 gallon, we have 5 Cuban gars. That's one that was born with one eye. Shameless beggar, he's like the biggest of all 5 of them, because everybody feels bad for him and babies him. Cuban gars are of course extinct in the wild. So these 5 came from a farm in Indonesia, captive bred. They've been growing pretty well. The biggest seem to be about 2.5 feet, working on the 3rd foot. They have those beautiful ganoid scales, pretty unique, which form an armor around them. Okay, we have 2 tropical gars. This is our supposed female. She's always that big. She's an avid eater. And that's the male. Tropical gar, or Mexican gar. This came from a farm in Mexico. In 2015, I want to say we got them. The Cubans we got, I forget now, 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, maybe 2, time flies. The tropical gars have stopped growing for us a long time ago. So they're about between 2.5 feet. Have not grown probably at all in the last 5 years. Well, also in this tank we have tweezers, the long-nosed gar, going away from us in the middle right now. And the Florida gar, female, fully grown, I think. She's the biggest of our Florida gars, because the rest of them that we have don't want to grow. Maybe they're males. She's also between 2 and 2.5 feet, maybe close to 2.5. She came from Randy and Aiden, our peer rescuers from Fort Myers. Okay, so that's the roster in this tank. What is that? 5 and 2 and 2. That's 9 gar in here. 5 Cubans, 2 tropical, 1 longnose, and 1 Florida. That's nosy, I mean tweezy. He's a rescue from I want to say 3 years ago. He came at about 1.5 feet. Today he's between 2.5 and 3 feet. But a significant portion of it is the long long snout. Every time I come to the tank, the perch and the gar come over and look at me, trying to get me to have pity on them and feed them, I guess. That's the idea. Cubans vary in size a little bit, like within 6 inches. This is a smaller one, about 2 foot. Perhaps the males seem to be smaller in the gars. Tell me please in the comments, because I don't know, do cubans and tropicals have also double row of teeth, just like alligator gars do, because they're from the same genus? Alligators, cubans, and tropicals. The Lepisosteus genus, to which the rest of them belong, the short nose, the long nose, the Florida, and the spotted gar, they have a single row of teeth. To me this looks like double row of teeth. It's got to be a trait of that gender. Okay, so that's 9 gar in this tank, and the 1800 gallon has 4 gar, if I'm not mistaken. 1 spotted, maybe, and 3 Florida. Here's a spotted gar. It came from forest. Him and his father caught this guy in Louisiana themselves. If you have spotted and Florida side by side, you cannot confuse them. You can really tell who is who. But if you just have one, it may be hard to tell which is Florida and which is spotted. They look so close. Florida, of course, is the southern variant of Floridian, and the spotted living everywhere from Great Lakes down south, but not in Florida. As I said, we do not have a short nose. If you know a source of a short nose gar or a big spotted gar, because this guy doesn't want to grow, probably a male, about 1.5 feet, maybe 20 inches. Very picky eater. Let us know. Would appreciate it. And these are the Florida gar. Yep, the 3 of them. This one also was born with 1 eye. So we have 2 gar out of 13. 2 of them were born with 1 eye. This one eats a lot. Look at its bottom. It's really thick. Alright, so there's 4 gar in this tank. 4 plus 9, we have 13 gar. That's a Florida. Some of you may remember we tried them in the 4,500 gallon. They were chew toys for the old timers. So after about a week or so or less. We had to take him out. Maybe a couple of weeks they lasted in there. So you can see the consequences in its tail. Its tail is a little. It has the right shape. It grew back, but the rays are not straight as they were originally. All right. It's fun to feed the gar, especially the big guys over there, but maybe I'll film it some other time. There's too much interference here. The perch will interfere, the arowana, they all pile up on top of each other, wanting to have a piece. But feeding them, it's spectacular, especially the one-eyed one. He hits so hard. He knows he's at disadvantage because he's one-eyed. So whatever he bites really, really hard. Way overkill for his. The effort is a way overkill for the result. He doesn't need to bite so hard, but he does. As I said, he's spoiled because everybody pities him. People are compassionate, which is great. I'm talking about our visitors. So here, out of the 5 cubans, he goes down to the bottom to grab some food. He lost because he always hopes to be hand-fed. The Plesiosaurus. When you're looking at a long-nosed gar head-on, it looks like a dinosaur with a long snout full of sharp teeth. Okay guys, that's our little platoon of 13 gar. No gourami. I don't know how many gar you have to go for, you have to have for a gourami. 1,000? Thank you for watching.